2021 Intense Tazer MX. This is the Pro build. This is my third ride on the bike. I'm on my tight trails near my house in Ohio, and I'm just learning more about it, really enjoying it. Number one, it's a mullet. It's got the big 29 up front, 27.5, beefy 2.8 tire in the back for traction. And I just like that geometry that lets the chainstay shorten up a little bit. The big 29er just rolls over everything. The geometry on this bike, I think I'm really liking around a 64-degree head angle. That just feels really good to me. I'm a Moto guy. This bike was targeted, I think, at Moto guys. They're sold through motorcycle dealerships. So it's got Renthal handlebars, the big dual crown forks. This looks like a regular motorcycle front end here. ODI grips, just like my KTMs have. It's set up like that. Nice Magura brakes. But now that I've been riding it a couple times, I started to play around with the suspension. This has the Ohlins suspension. Now this is my first experience with Ohlins forks on a mountain bike. I've had full Ohlins suspension on motocross bikes before, and it works really, really good. But this has two chambers. The lower chamber is your bottoming section, and you can pump that up, and the upper chamber you can run lower, so you get the suppleness over the little bumps and still have great bottoming resistance. These things work fantastic. I'm super impressed. When I was in Pennsylvania, real rocky trails, the cobblestones, it just absorbed that stuff. I have a little experience with Ohlins rear shocks. My 19 Kenevo Expert Specialized had a spring Ohlins shock on the back. I like that. Again, it's a very friction-free feel, and you've got high and low speed compression and rebound also to adjust on it. The Magura brakes are great. I like the feel of these little levers. I think they're plastic. They should be pretty tough, but they really fit in your fingers well, and the power is good, and the calipers 4 pistons, so they got plenty of power. The battery, 504 watt-hour batteries underneath the cover here, which is kind of easy to take it in and out if you want. 504 watt-hours is plenty for me, and it's easy enough to have a spare battery to change it out if you're going to go on big rides. The Shimano Ep8 Motor. This is my first experience with that. It's got the eTube tuning app. I've got some miles on a Shimano 7000. I've been riding a Tazer Expert. 7000 motor, Shimano's rated at 60 Newton meters. This one's rated at 85. And it doesn't feel that much more powerful, but it has plenty of juice, eco, trail, and boost modes to ride in. So you got a lot of choices there. So we'll go out. It's a beautiful day here in Ohio. We'll do a little ride on the trails here. I like to ride this thing in boost. Boost is my favorite. Now, one thing about these triple trees, these dual crown forks, they really affect the turning radius, and you don't notice it on the trail as much unless you're doing some real slow maneuvering, tight stuff, balanced stuff. You might hit the stop, but kind of when you're maneuvering the bike in the garage or the shop, or even kind of maneuvering around the trail sometimes, and you're just walking it around, it's funny, you hit the stop so much you don't realize how tight you steer a regular bike. But these forks work so good, I can live with a little bit less turning radius. So, but it's one of the things that always attracted me to these Tazers was the feel of my weight distribution between my feet and my hands. And I'm a Moto guy at heart. I'm 6'2", 190 pounds, and I just like to be able to jump off my motocross bikes and just get on one of these e-bikes and have it just feel like a big old dirt bike. And that's what this thing does. And I think they sell this as, quote, a large, X-large frame, but it really is the extra large. It's got about a 505 reach, I think, millimeters. And rear chainstay is probably 450. But it just feels really good. And honestly, I'm always amazed at how light and agile a big old 50-pound, somewhat very downhill capable bike can feel. Even on the tight trails, it's just the way it handles. I really enjoy the feel of it. And of course, in the more open areas and the downhill sections especially, it just gives you confidence to charge, which I really like coming off a motorcycle. Now the EP8 motor, like I said, it likes a higher pedal cadence. And if you just like pedal up a little bit, it just seems to keep making more and more power. Of course, until you get to the RPM cutoff, or the speed cutoff. It's supposed to give you assist to 20, but I think they start really dialing it back at around 18 and a half. At least how it feels to me. But the assist is real natural. I went in the YouTube app just to confirm all the settings. Everything's the same as the factory would recommend. So I haven't changed anything yet. I could change the pedal character and the torque, but I kind of like the way the power is now. I like the way it feels. I like the way it kind of responds, and just the way the pedal responds to you. So, third ride in, love the geometry. Just feels good for a moto guy. And even for this big bike, I've had the same size bike in the Tazer Expert on some tight trails, and it's super maneuverable. I didn't really have any trouble with it. I like this Ohlins suspension. It's very tunable, especially that fork. I'm really enjoying learning about the upper and lower chambers. I like messing with that. These Renthal bars are pretty nice. I usually use a carbon bar, but I think I'm going to leave these things on there. Brakes are good. The Shimano motor, powerful. It is a Shimano Ep8, so it's got a little rattle if you're on real bumpy. Like today, I'm on smooth trails, so you don't really hear it. But if you got cobblestone type stuff, you might hear it. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely there. But I think I needed that for the durability, the toughness of it. Magura brakes, they look cool and they work good. Maxxis tires are working good. So, man, I like it. Looking forward to more rides. I want to get on a couple more trails, hopefully before the snow flies. But so far, 2 big thumbs up.